They thought I was finished. I was only learning how to rise.
Watch me rise again.
I got knocked down so many times, I forgot what standing felt like. But every scar on my body started teaching me to fight. Yeah. I remember sitting in the dark with my back against the wall, wondering if anybody noticed I was disappearing at all. Everybody loves your smile, nobody asks what's underneath it. They'll celebrate the resurrection but won't visit while you're bleeding. I learned that pain gets quiet when you carry it for years. You can scream without making noise, you can drown behind your tears. I had people call me brother while they waited for me to fall. Had people tell me they believe while secretly hoping I would crawl. And I crawled through nights that felt like they would never end. Crawled through every disappointment, crawled through losing every friend. I questioned every failure, questioned every choice I made. Questioned whether all the suffering was the price I'd have to pay. But something inside me whispered, don't die where they left you. So I stood, not because I wasn't broken, because I finally understood. Broken doesn't mean finished. I remember every person who said I wouldn't make it, every door that slammed shut, every chance they wouldn't give me, every you're not ready, every you're not enough. Every time I reached for help and everybody called my bluff. They saw the failure, they never saw the fight. They saw me lose the battle, they never saw the nights. They never saw me staring at the ceiling until dawn, asking God why I was still here when everything I loved was gone. I had dreams inside my chest but they were buried underneath all the things I couldn't say and all the pain I couldn't speak. I became good at saying fine when I was anything but fine. Became an expert at pretending that the darkness wasn't mine. I laughed around my family so nobody saw the cracks. Then I walk into my room alone and finally let it all collapse. That's the part nobody tells you. Sometimes strength looks weak, sometimes surviving means you barely make it through the week. Sometimes getting out of bed is the biggest victory you've had. Sometimes making it to tomorrow is the strongest thing you can add. So if you're listening right now and you're fighting just to breathe, I need you to understand, your worst day doesn't get to decide who you're gonna be. I lost myself, then I found somebody stronger underneath the person I had been. I lost hope, then I discovered hope wasn't something somebody gives you. It's something you build when there's nothing left. I lost friends, then I learned some people are only meant to walk with you until the road gets hard. And I lost everything, but somehow I didn't lose me.
Watch me rise again.
Watch me stand where I once fell.
Watch me
Turn these scars into stories that I lived through hell to tell. You can count me out, you can doubt me, you can tell me I'm not enough, but every time you push me down, I'm coming back from deeper stuff.
watch me rise again.
I ain't who I was before. You thought the pain would break me, it only taught me how to war. I was buried underneath the pressure, now I'm breaking through the ground. You thought I disappeared forever. I was only building underground. Funny how people change when you stop being useful. Funny how they disappear when your life gets brutal. They'll stand beside your success and call themselves your family, but when your world collapses, suddenly nobody has the battery, no calls, no texts, no how you holding up, just silence. And somehow that silence said everything words couldn't. I stopped chasing explanations, stopped asking why they left, because sometimes closure is realizing you deserve better than what you accepted. I used to think betrayal was the worst thing you could feel. Now I think the worst thing is betraying yourself just to keep somebody real. I stayed where I wasn't loved, stayed where I wasn't respected, kept forgiving people who never even felt regret. I gave pieces of my soul to people who gave me pain, then blame myself when they get it all again. Not anymore. I learned the hardest lesson. You can't save everybody without eventually drowning yourself. You can't keep pouring from an empty cup and wonder why you have nothing left. So I stopped begging people to stay, stop proving I was worth it. If walking away cost me people, then I'll pay it. Because peace is expensive when you've been addicted to chaos. And sometimes losing somebody is how you finally stop losing yourself. Nobody cared what I was building. I was fighting with 1,000 thoughts and still pretending I was chilling. They only saw the finished product, never witnessed construction. Never saw me lose my sleep trying to turn pain into production. They weren't there when I was doubting, weren't there when I was scared, weren't there when I needed somebody and discovered nobody cared. But now they see the progress and they think it happened overnight. They don't know how many times I had to lose before I got it right. I had nights where I questioned if the dream was worth the pain. Mornings where I woke up and felt nothing in my veins. I had people tell me just move on, you'll be okay. But they never understood I was fighting just to make it through the day. You can't tell somebody how to heal when you've never seen their wound. You can't judge somebody's silence when you don't know what they're going through. So I stopped explaining, stopped defending every scar, because people who truly know you don't need you to prove who you are. And people committed to misunderstanding you will never accept the truth. So let them talk, let them doubt, let them make assumptions. I'll keep moving forward while they're busy discussing, because the greatest revenge isn't watching somebody lose. It's becoming so strong that their opinion has no use. My mind wanted me gone. Mirror days, ray on reflection, looked like somebody I didn't know. I was staring at my face, but couldn't recognize the soul. I kept telling everybody I've got it under control. Meanwhile, every thought inside my head was taking shots at my hope. My mind became a courtroom, I was judge, jury, defendant. Every mistake became evidence, every memory got attention. Every failure got replayed until I hated my reflection. And the worst part, nobody knew, because I became too good at hiding pain. I could walk into a room smiling while mentally standing in the rain. I could tell somebody I'm okay without even blinking an eye. Then I get home, close the door, and finally let the silence cry. I was exhausted from pretending I was stronger than I felt. Exhausted from carrying everybody. Well, I couldn't carry myself, but somewhere underneath the wreckage there was still a voice. Not loud, not confident, just enough to say, you still have a choice. So I chose another morning, then another. And that's how I learned something I never learned from success. Sometimes surviving isn't about winning the battle. Sometimes surviving is refusing to surrender the war. You call me family until family required sacrifice. You call me loyal until loyalty came with a price. You said you never leave me, then disappeared when I was weak. Funny how the loudest promises become the quietest memories. I gave you trust, you gave me reasons to never trust the same way again. I gave you honesty, you gave my secrets to people I considered friends. I defended you when everybody questioned who you were. Then I became the person you couldn't even defend in front of them. That's betrayal. It isn't just what you did, it's realizing I would've never done it to you. That's the part that hurts, not losing you. Losing the version of me that believed you were different. But I'm not bitter, I'm better, there's the difference. I don't need revenge, I need distance. I don't need apologies, I need peace. I don't need you to admit that you were wrong. I need myself to finally admit that I was wrong for staying so long. And that's growth. Sometimes the hardest goodbye isn't saying goodbye to somebody, it's saying goodbye to the version of yourself that kept accepting less because you were afraid of being alone. Now, I'd rather walk alone with peace in my chest than stand surrounded by people who secretly hope I fail. I fought battles nobody could photograph. No bruises, no blood, just thoughts that wouldn't stop. Every day I wake up and negotiate with my own head. Get up, stay down, keep going. What's the point? Back and forth, round after round, and nobody could hear the bell. I became my own opponent and my own coach at the same time. Sometimes I'd motivate myself, sometimes I'd destroy myself. Sometimes I'd say, you can do this. 5 minutes later, you're nobody. That's what mental warfare looks like. It isn't always screaming, sometimes it's silence. Sometimes it's staring at your phone for an hour without answering anybody. Sometimes it's sleeping all day because being awake feels expensive. Sometimes it's laughing at a joke and feeling absolutely numb. just want somebody to notice. When the building stood, nobody asked me how I survived. They just assumed that I was good. They didn't see the foundation, didn't see me digging through the dirt, didn't see me questioning my value, didn't see how badly it hurt. I had to rebuild my confidence with pieces of a shattered identity. Had to learn that being rejected doesn't mean somebody saw my destiny. I confused being unwanted with being unworthy for years. Let somebody else's opinion become the reason I feared. I measure myself through people's eyes, and that's a dangerous place to live, because people change their vision depending on what you have to give. When I had nothing, they had nothing to say. When I started climbing, they suddenly knew my name. But I don't need the recognition. I remember being invisible, I remember being overlooked, I remember every room where I felt like I didn't belong. And maybe that's why I don't need everybody now, because I've already learned how to stand when nobody's around. I looked inside the mirror and saw somebody exhausted, eyes carrying stories that his mouth had never talked about. I asked him, why'd you keep pretending? He said, because everybody needed me. I asked, who took care of you? Silence. That's when I realized I had spent my entire life trying to become a safe place for everybody else, while never becoming one for myself. I was everybody's emergency contact, everybody's shoulder, everybody's motivation. But when my own world collapsed, I didn't know who to call. So I learned to sit with myself, learned to forgive myself, learned that self-respect sometimes looks like walking away without explaining. Learned that peace can feel lonely when chaos was all you knew. Learned that healing isn't always beautiful. Sometimes healing looks like deleting the number, sometimes healing looks like not responding, sometimes healing looks like letting people misunderstand you, sometimes healing looks like choosing yourself without feeling guilty in that mirror. It doesn't scare me anymore, because now when I look at it, I don't see somebody broken, I see somebody who survived everything that tried to convince him he wouldn't. They see the smile, they don't know what it cost. They see the confidence, they don't know what I lost. They see the progress, they don't know the setbacks. They see the destination, they don't know the wreckage. They say, you're lucky, maybe, but luck doesn't explain the nights I stayed awake. Luck doesn't explain the risks I had to take. Luck doesn't explain the people I had to lose. Luck doesn't explain the moments I wanted to quit but still chose to move. Everybody wants the trophy, nobody wants the training. Everybody wants the victory, nobody wants the wait. And everybody wants the transformation, nobody wants the pain. The transformation requires, you can't become fire without surviving the heat. You can't become stronger without meeting something that makes you weak. So I stopped complaining about what made me uncomfortable, because maybe the pressure was building something underneath me. Maybe every rejection was redirecting me. Maybe every failure was correcting me. Maybe every loss was protecting me. And maybe the reason I couldn't see the blessing was because I was too busy crying over what left. I used to run from my memories, run from my failures, run from conversations I didn't want to remember, run from places that reminded me of paper, run from songs that reminded me of pain, run from silence because silence made me think. But eventually you run out of places to hide. So I stopped, I sat with the memories, looked every failure in the face, said, yeah, you happened, but you don't own me. I made mistakes, but I am not my mistakes. I trusted people, they betrayed me, but I am not betrayal. I lost people, but I am not lost. I experienced pain, but I am not pain. That's the difference. The past can explain you without controlling you. And once I understood that, I stopped asking, why did this happen to me? And started asking, what am I gonna build because it happened? That's when my life changed, because pain stopped being my identity. It became my material, and I started building. This verse isn't about me, it's about you. Yeah, you watching this alone with the volume turned low. You pretending you're okay because nobody needs to know. You telling everybody I'm tired, but I'm good, when deep down you haven't felt good. Entire situation. I know what it feels like when everybody says you're blessed, but you're lying in your room wondering why you can't feel happiness. I know what it feels like to accomplish something huge and still feel completely empty because nobody knows what you went through. I know what it feels like to receive congratulations while your mind is somewhere else fighting private altercations. I know what it feels like to be surrounded by people and still feel like you're invisible. To answer every question with I'm good because explaining the truth feels impossible. I know what it feels like to want to disappear for a minute. Not because you hate your life, but because you're exhausted from constantly trying to fix it. And if that's you, I need you to hear this. You don't have to solve your entire life tonight. You don't have to become the strongest version of yourself overnight. Sometimes the victory is simply getting through the day. Then tomorrow comes and you do it again. That's how mountains move, not all at once. One step, one breath, one decision, one day. I used to ask, why did they betray me? Why did they leave? Why did God let this happen? Why did I have to grieve? I spent years asking questions that had no answers, and eventually I realized some questions aren't meant to receive explanations. They're meant to create transformation. So I stopped asking, why me? And started asking, what now? What now? What do I build? Who do I become? What do I learn? Where do I go? How do I make sure this pain doesn't get wasted? That's when the suffering changed. It didn't disappear, it became useful. I took every broken piece and started building with it. Every disappointment became another brick. Every rejection became another wall. Every scar became another part of the foundation. And eventually I built something the pain could never destroy, a purpose. I used to imagine revenge, imagine them seeing me succeed, imagine them regretting leaving, imagine them calling me when I didn't need them anymore. But now I don't need revenge because revenge still gives them a place inside your mind. I don't want them thinking about me, I don't want them regretting me, I don't want them watching me, I want to forget they existed. That's freedom. I don't need you to regret hurting me, I need to stop carrying what you did. I don't need you to apologize, I need to forgive myself for letting your actions change how I saw myself. I don't need to win an argument, I need to win my peace. And that's something you can't take from me, because I've learned the strongest response isn't always a response. Sometimes the strongest response is becoming unreachable to the person who once had access to everything. There are people I haven't met yet who are going to need the person I'm becoming. That's why I can't quit. There are conversations I haven't had. There are lives I haven't touched. There are rooms I haven't entered. There are people who will hear my story someday and realize they're not alone. That's bigger than my pain. That's bigger than my fear. That's bigger than one bad season. Maybe I survived because somebody else was gonna need proof that survival was possible. Maybe the reason I couldn't understand the struggle was because one day I'd have to explain it. Maybe the wound was never supposed to stay a wound. Maybe it was supposed to become a doorway. So I'm not just fighting for myself anymore. I'm fighting for the person who hasn't found the strength yet. I'm fighting for the kid who thinks they're worthless. I'm fighting for the adult who thinks it's too late. I'm fighting for the person who thinks their mistakes are bigger than their future. I'm fighting because somebody needs to see a person who fell apart and still rebuild. Every scar has a story, every tear has a reason. Every sleepless night was another season. Every person who left changed the direction. Every closed door created a new intersection. I don't hide my scars anymore, they're proof. Proof I lived, proof I fought, proof I didn't let the worst thing become the final thing. People see scars and think damage. I see evidence, I see survival. I see every moment I couldn't quit, but didn't. Every mark says you made it. Every memory says you're stronger now. Every failure says try again. Every loss says keep moving. And every morning I wake up breathing. There's another reminder, the story is still being written.